Let's take a look.
All right, here we go,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a peek here. Game 1 in the winner's bracket of Group Charlie. Day 3 here of King of the Sea on North America. Let's have a peek at the STARD team. Spawning to the north side here, they are bringing St. Vincent, Yamato, Stalingrad, Marseille, and Nevsky. And then fronted by 4 destroyers, Gearing Marceau, Z-52, and a Vampire Deuce.
It's interesting, X100 is a bit of a destroyer player, but I remember seeing Nito Klaas in the Z52 a lot. So
we've seen Nito do good work in that Z52, especially on this map.
Yeah.
We had a clinic game with him once on this map. So
did.
we'll see how X100 handles it. Talk to me about the bonks lineup, Saf.
Sorry. Kerensky says, I think you guys just broke my sarcasm detector. Anyway, all right. So over on the side of bonks, we've got a Preußen, which we saw yesterday. That was pretty awesome.
Used well.
We'll have to see how she can be used again today. And then look at this baconated in a Colombo.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah. And then for cruisers, we got Des Moines, Venezia, Moskva, Nevsky. Destroyers, 3 of them. We've got Kleber, we've got Grozovoy, and we've got Yu Yang. Now, this Yu Yang is a radar Yu Yang.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good to know.
He's going off to the side. He's going off to the side where both ships are self-sufficient. Both the Colombo and Venezia have the ability to make Inky.
Yep, they can smoke themselves out of trouble spots should it come to that. And honestly, the way that Star D is deploying, it looks like it is going to come to that, Zaf, because they are sending a tremendous amount of firepower over that side of the map. Both their battleships, the Stalingrad and the Marseille, all going towards the eastern flank.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of a toilet bowl action going on here as both teams are basically opting to put the heavier bits of their push on opposite sides of the map. So Bonks going for Alpha and Star D going for Charlie.
Yep, each team looking to push on their respective left flank. So could be looking at a bit of a clockwise game here as their right flank, depending on which team you're talking about. Well, both teams' right flanks, their respective flanks have to kind of kite and retreat.
I do like Nito Klaas going early into the B cap, but COTS 14 backup 138 was detected in the Moskva, and as a result, Nito Klaas is backed up, knowing that 12-kilometer radar can cause problems.
Look at Nito. Look at put your radar up and look at him follow that line back into the cap.
Yeah. That's exactly what we've been doing. That's exactly what we've been doing.
That is textbook destroyer play right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now the
That
Moskva
is seamanship.
is probably going to push back up to try and get Nito back in range of his radar, I'm guessing.
Hasn't moved yet.
Yep, here it comes. His radar isn't active. Now it's active. Still hasn't found Nito. Will in just a second or two. And right about this, got to cross the midpoint of the ship. There it is. Nito's lit. He'll push out of the cap. He'll allow the Moskva to ding him and push him off the cap just for a little bit. He missed all those shots. And he's being backed. It's a Yamato salvo coming in on that Moskva as well.
That's right. Fratstar opening up with the Nevsky. Shells all around him.
Nito, again, out of the radar. You can see the radar line about 100 meters or so behind Nito's hull and retreating as the Moskva has to push back. By the time Nito gets back into the cap, that radar will be expired. Nito should be able to pick up B. Just brilliant destroyer plays that. That's a privilege to watch.
Yeah, he's got about 2 minutes now to play with. It's an easy cap for him. And it's important to note, remember, guys, the players do not have this mod.
No,
they don't get a line on the water telling them how much they see. They have to guesstimate. Okay, I think from this point, I can hit the backside of B cap.
Yep. We get to see that in the mode we have, but they certainly do not.
And that would be why the Moskva popped the radar and wasn't able to detect Nito Klaas right away, even though Nito was still in the cap.
Gearing has left. Lord Lauren has left Roke some smoke over here for his Nevsky A as Roke gets turned around, ready to kite. His radar is down. They used it to push Todd Howards as Grozovoy off the cap earlier. Todd now reversing back in, takes a torpedo.
Wow.
Even more damage going into the Grozovoy early here at the A cap.
Well, he does get a heal.
He does. He's going to need it. He's already one charge in. He's only got 2 more, so...
I'll tell you, STARD has been really good with their use of destroyer play. We saw that earlier with Nito Claus and the Vampire Deuce.
Oh, yeah.
Nascimento and the Marceau. Look at his rotation. Beautiful use of those torpedoes right down the channel. Even if they don't hit Todd Howards, that's going to force him off of the cap again.
Yep. Star in general, in my mind, has always sort of been known for their destroyer play, and we're definitely seeing it here. Nito's little vampire dance, the gearing torpedoes. They're just doing brilliant work with the destroyers they brought. You begin to understand why they have 4 in the lineup.
Todd Howards barely. I mean, those torps could have come a lot closer to him. That was crazy to watch.
But it's Star D out to an early cap lead here, 90 points and climbing as BONKS finally does pick up A. It takes them a little while. And so now as Star builds their lead, it's going to be on BONKS to put some pressure on them somehow.
The interesting thing is, you've got...
Nito takes a torp.
Torp.
Yep. Almost dodged it. Couldn't quite manage it out here in mid.
And his hydro was available.
Yeah, that hurts. See now that those brand new 12-kilometer Grozavoy torpedoes coming into play there, Zath, because once upon a time, those Grozavoy torpedoes wouldn't have had the range to reach him, but they do now.
Yep. Still, we got 2 cap lead for Star D, so really it's up to BONKS to figure out how can we get back into this game. Baconated in the Colombo is already kiting away. You've got the Venezia Griefer also kiting away. Well, Stevie at my door kiting away.
BONKS's right flank was set up to kite the same way that the Star D right flank was set up to kite, and so now that the game has sort of developed the way that their strategies intended, both teams are looking for ways to sort of start putting pressure on the opposing team in some fashion. Certainly the amount of damage they've put into Baconated is a bit of a problem if you're BONKS.
Nagato coming under fire now, tried to go into B cap, and Nascimento and Klaus are just like, no, get out of here.
We say no.
Go away.
We said no, sir.
He's going in, right?
He's going in now, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're BONKS, you got 2 choices, right? You go for B or you go to C. And now, where do they have more of their forces?
Yep. Furubex's radar is not in range of Nagato. They have no way to spot him other than spotting him the old-fashioned way with their face. Nito's going to reverse back to the cap, but I don't think he's going to get there in time to prevent it. He'll get there in time to stall the points, but that's about it.
I mean, there's 15 seconds left. He might make it.
No. Nah, it's not going to happen. Ships in reverse just don't move that quick.
Place your bets now, folks.
He's only doing like
5 seconds.
He's probably doing 12 knots, maybe in reverse.
Yep.
See? He's going to sneak in there. He's going to sneak in there to block it, but he couldn't stop the flip. So now both teams ticking up 1 cap 8 minutes in.
Yep. So, all right, Nito now using those using the hydro to detect torps. Good, but now they get the cap.
Nagato ducks out of the cap almost immediately. That's going to allow Nito to probably flip it right back. Des Moines radar coming up from Morb over on the 3 line. Going to pick up Nascimento's Marceau, but not going to find Nito just yet.
Oh, look at Morb in the Des Moines.
Yeah.
Over at A. Just some big focus fire coming in on him now.
Nito's going to be able to pick up this cap just ahead of that radar line.
Yep.
Still 15 seconds left on that Des Moines radar. That's a bold push for Morb. He's going to get away with it. Neither of the battleships in a position to punish him for that play.
No, and I was looking for it, but, they're just too far away.
Yeah. I mean, the Yamato could have, but not from his island position. He would have had to have moved up quite a bit to be able to take that shot. It would have Hooper.
Right. Now, Honey Badger and the Preußens in an interesting position. That's where you'd normally expect to see a Des Moines.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I'm a little surprised to see them. This is going to sound harsher than I mean it to sound, but kind of piss away a battleship in this slot, right? You've got 110,000 hit points and big old 457 millimeter guns, and where are they? They're sitting behind an island on the 1 line, where they can't really impact the battle right now. That feels a little bad because we're getting close to the halfway mark. You're really going to need those guns, I think.
Absolutely. As Dyer's Yu Yang detected by X100's Hydro, who is detected by Dyer's radar over at the 10 line. Dyer taking some hits there from Flores' St. Vincent.
Indeed, a little bit of detect and counter detect here, depending on who's pushing the button here over on the 10 line.
The key, though, of course, is Yu Yang radar doesn't last anywhere near as long as Z52 Hydro. So that forces Dyer to back off and kind of relinquish that board positioning for now, at least.
Nito coming under a tremendous amount of focus fire from Fratstar's Nevsky radar. They've brought both their 12-kilometer radars here to mid. They realize BONKS does. They're going to have to cap B and hold it sooner or later. So they've pulled everybody here to do that. And I think they've got the firepower and the detection to finally make it stick.
Well, that's absolutely what they have to do at this point. They got to find a way back into the game. And B seems to be their decided positioning. So as Nito Klaus decides to toss some torpedoes at his own teammate, because why not?
Because, well, that's what you do, right? 9 minutes to play, and the B cap now looks to be firmly in the hands of BONKS because they have two 12-kilometer radars sitting on the edge of it. Now, if they can take away the Moskva, which is a possibility simply because they've been chewing away at his HP for a long time, that does increase their odds, but it's really Fratstar's Nevsky position that's going to be decisive, I think, in holding that cap for BONKS.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, and you're right. If they can somehow get COTS back up 138 out of this game, I think they're in a good position. Baconated now, taking a decent hit there in the Colombo. By the way, healing up quite a bit from what we saw earlier, so he's not out of this game anytime.
Not at all. He backed off. He took a couple of heals and has pushed back up into the middle of the map, which is an interesting position for a battleship. There's almost always good opportunities for shots from there. Nascimento's Marceau now into the B cap, lit on radar by Morbs Des Moines.
Yeah, this is a very, it's almost kind of like a desperate play. Like, he's got to get in. He's got to go all the way to the island to duck in for cover. In the process, the Des Moines is going to have a angle on him. He's reversing right now. Morb,
well, and
there he goes.
It's not just the Des Moines. It's Fratstar's Nevsky's got shots. The Des Moines shots are coming in. This feels too soon, Zath. This feels like a desperation play they don't need to make because there are still 7 or 8 minutes in the game, and they're going to lose Nascimento for basically no gain.
Yes. Yes, I don't think that was a good decision, but
no,
I mean,
it wasn't necessary to do that at that time, I don't think.
Yeah, they were probably not aware of Morb's positioning in the Des Moines, although he was last spotted in that area. So
and they know he's over there, right? They watched him cut across that gap, and the Nevsky and the Gearing haven't seen him pop out, so they know he's over there somewhere.
Yep. Meanwhile, Honey Badger in the Preußen seems like he heard you because he's moving. Now he's into the middle.
Finally moving up here. STARD clinging to a 40-point lead, but they're going to lose that on the current trajectory here in just the next 60 seconds or so. We're going to have a lead change.
That's right. I got to say, it's very interesting. With Honey Badger moving, you can see Lord Lauren in the Gearing and Rokek and the Nevsky are already starting to rotate farther over. And if Honey Badger leaves the area, that's going to leave, I'm going to Morb out to dry in the Des Moines.
Maybe a little bit, but there's nothing over there that can really punish him, is there? There's not a battleship on that flank. There's just the Gearing and the Nevsky. That's it.
That's right. So we're talking about kind of, minutes of just constant HE spam from long range. Now, the problem is that BONKS is going to win in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, if nothing else changes.
Yep. They've slowly worked their way back to a very, very solid, very difficult to assail board control position here over the B cap. Fratstar now burning his second radar of the game.
Detecting Nito Klaus.
Picking up Nito and the Marseille. Doesn't look like anybody's got shots on Nito, though. No, I lied. The Moskva's taking shots and some of the destroyers on the far side of the cap.
That's right. They see him. They know where he's at. Even if they don't actually see him and can target him, they can still use the mini-map to aim. And I think that's what the first salvos were. Here come the second ones.
They are
Nito's
able to
in trouble.
Yeah, they are able to get him down under 1,000 HP. More shells continuing to fall. That radar has another 3 seconds. Can they hit him?
Nice
don't.
job dodging so far by Nito. Expert dodging.
Nito sneaking
Slow
away,
down.
but pretty much can't get spotted the rest of the match. We have had a lead change. Bonks 20 points and climbing.
More shells coming in. Nope. Nito's going to be okay. Now it's Benevolent Fair, who is seemingly the focus target.
Benevolent popping his reload booster, trying to punish Dyer for throwing shells at his teammate. But the Marseille, the Benevolent is turning directly into all of these deep waters. He doesn't know it yet. Oh,
this is going to be bad.
Take at least 3 or 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's enough to put him out. Big kills. We're now seconds away at 2 quick kills as they do finally bag Nito. Blind fire, fishing him out of that cap. Seconds away from a Bonks win here in game 1.
X100 going back into B, saying this is it. This is the only thing we can do. 20 seconds to go in the game.
Not going to matter. What live or die, this cap is not going to win the game for these guys because they're already too close to losing.
No, and this will be it right here.
And there it is.
There it goes.
When he dies, that's the game. There you go.
Got my death pick.
Bonks gives up some board position early, goes down, but claws back in, never surrenders a ship, and manages to pick up a tidy little win here in game 1.
Yeah. Okay.